Hello everyone, this is Brother Mike from One Finger Worship Chords. I have another bonus video for you. What you're seeing on your screen right here is I'm just going to do like a walkthrough with you. But the actual PDFs, if you are like, wow, this is really small, Mike, how am I going to use this? This is just a walkthrough, an example, but I have a PDF. All you got to do is contact me. I send it to members only. I don't want to just put it up for everybody to go ahead and open and download. So if you are a member, all you have to do is make sure you go to the website and contact me through either the contact form on the website, and I will send this to you. Or if you are on the Facebook group, our group page, One Finger Worship Chords, I think I've already put it up, but if you can't find it through the different posts, just contact me there. Either message me through the Facebook group or post a question up on the group and I'll get to it. And I will go ahead and give you this. Anyway, so on the left side is the chart. On the right side is the examples that we will be going through. Okay, and the reason why I'm giving this to you is because we learned all our chords, and this is how I actually play. I play everything through the chord shapes of the key of G, primarily, and D. Yes, you can play things. If somebody gives you a song in the key of C, you could play that song without capos. You could. I play songs in C without capos also. But to keep this a little bit more simplified, and again, if you have any questions, all you have to do is contact me either through the website, contact form, or through the Facebook group. And it's a closed group only for us. So that's exactly where the best place to go ahead and post your questions, because other people might have the same questions. Okay, now getting into this chart here. On the left, if you look on, it's where it says, let's look at the top part, okay? OFWC capo chart. The top section says original key and capo fret, and in parentheses it says G. This is all in the key of G, the G shape family. Okay, so you're gonna see starting with the original key of G, G sharp, A, B flat. So those are the original keys of, say, somebody gives you a song, and the song is in C, or the song is in F, or the song is in B flat. Whatever the worship leader, or if you're looking this song up on the internet and the key is in a key that you are not familiar with, we are familiar with G family and the D family, and you don't know what to do, well, this chart is for you. Say, for example, we're just going to look at the very top, the key of G. We already know that. So if you look at the original key and you look to the right, it says capo. What fret are you going to capo? It's 0. You don't capo anything. You just play it how it is. So if the song is in G, D, E minor, C, then you would just play your regular G, D, E minor, C that you already know. No capos. Okay. Now, if the song is in A, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and also look at the on the right side. Okay, the chords, say the song that they give you. The chords are A, E, F sharp minor, and D. Okay, so what you do is you look at on the left side, you look at the capo chart. Okay, you can either use the top section or the bottom section. It's up to you. Okay, so before we start, let me just explain what the colors mean. Okay, so whenever you look under the column of capo fret, you're going to see there's the colors that are black, and those are what you should have no problem if you capo from 0, meaning no capo at all, or capo 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, you should have no problem playing these. Now, when it gets to like higher than 5, 6, 7, and 8, I turned it to blue. The reason I turned it into blue is because you're getting really high up on the neck, and you are going to get a really high sounding guitar. You're going to lose your bottom end. Now, if that's an effect that you're going for, there's absolutely nothing wrong with playing with capoing that high, capo 6, 7, and 8. Absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, there's nothing wrong with you even capoing higher than 8. But the reason I put those in blue, 6, 7, and 8, is because you are getting to the point where again you're losing your bottom, your low notes. It's not going to be as strong that as like this. That's an open. You're not going to get that big full sound. And again, if that's an effect that you're going for, and if you're playing with a bass player, then it's okay. Let the bass player take the low sound. So it's okay to capo higher than the 5th fret, but I put them in different colors because you're kind of getting in that range where, and the higher you fret the capo, the more difficult it is for you to play because your fingers are going to get kind of squished together, and you're getting really high up, and your hand is going to start hitting the body of the guitar, and it's going to be very difficult to play up there. So the blues you can still play, and even the grays, okay, 9, 10, and 11. Like you're really high up on the neck. But again, if that's what you're looking for, then that's fine. It's going to be very difficult to play some of these chords though. So it really is up to you. So basically the black frets, the black numbered frets, are the ones that are perfectly safe. You can pretty much play and not worry too much about anything. But once you get higher than the 5th fret, 6, 7, and 8, you're getting, it's going to be difficult, and 9, 10, 11 in gray is going to be very, very difficult. I actually wouldn't recommend it. That's like I might put that dark horizontal line, and that separates the black and the blue from the gray. Okay, so I hope that made sense. Okay, now if you look on the bottom of the chart, there is a key, and that's a constant. That will help you. That's going to be like our rule of thumb when it comes to the capos. Okay, on the very bottom, on the left side of the paper, it says the number of frets that you capo up equals the number of notes you lower down. Okay, and what that is keeping everything correct. We're not just capoing frets for no reason. Okay, we capo frets. The reason why we're capoing frets is so that we can play it in a way that we're familiar with. So we don't have to. The whole purpose of one finger worship chords is to get you up and playing as quickly as possible and start playing music. Now, this thing that you're looking at is charts, and it's kind of boring, but I gotta explain this to you so you understand this, so you can get up and start playing. So the rule of thumb is this: you gotta keep the notes. The notes gotta stay the same. You cannot, even if you're capoing, you cannot change the notes. So if you capo up, for example, if it says number of frets capoed up, so if you capo up 5 frets, you put your capo on fret number 5. You gotta lower those notes down 5 frets so that you keep everything correct and you're not changing the actual notes. You are changing the chord shapes and what you are familiar with. You're changing chord shapes, but you don't want to change the notes, because if you change the notes, you will not be able to play with anybody else. And so this is how you can have a set of chords, a sheet of music in front of you, somebody gives to you, and then you can play notes, I should say chords, that I haven't taught you, but you can use what you know to go ahead and play those notes, play those chords. I'm sorry, I keep getting notes and chords mixed up. So what we're going to do now, okay, is if you look, for example, let's look at the very top, G, okay, original key is in G, slide over, no capo. So for example, let's look at, say we use 5. See, if the original song is in the key of C, okay, so if you look G, you go under G is G sharp, and then A, B flat, B, and C. Okay, you slide over, where across C, it is you're capoing on the 5th fret. Okay, so if I go ahead and do that, and you go ahead and do that, we capo on the 5th fret. I'm just going to play open. See how everything got higher? Got 5 frets higher. This is open, 0, the key of G. Okay, now if I fret, capo the 5th fret, we got a lot higher. Okay, so now I can still use the chord shapes that I am familiar with in the key of G. So you slide over to the 5th fret, but because you went 5 frets higher to capo, whatever we translate, we have to go 5 notes lower. So if we are in C, okay, keep it in the 5th fret. Now if we go back down, okay, so we just went up higher, we gotta go 5 frets lower. And if you look at C, you go down 1 fret, that's a B. You go down another fret, that's a B flat. You go down another fret, that's an A. You go down another fret, it's a G sharp. And you go down, you lower another fret, you're back to a G. So you went 5 frets down because you went 5 frets up. And that should make sense. Whatever you go up, whatever frets you go up to capo, when you see that chord in front of you, you have to be lowered. You have to go down that same amount of frets. So I'll give you an example. Okay, so we are already in capoed on the 5th fret. If I were to play the G shape right here, okay, that's the key of C. And that's exactly what I mean. This is how we play our G shape and our G family chords that we're familiar with. I'm playing a G shape, but I'm actually playing a C. So if somebody gives you a song and it says, here, play this whole song in the key of C, this is what you do, capo 5th fret, and start playing the chords that you already know. So we are going to now get into an example of how to apply this. Okay, if you look to the right, okay, the examples that I'm giving you, okay, say that somebody gives you a song in the original chords, okay, and these 2 first examples, we're going to do chords in the G, in the key of G family, the G shape that you know. So the top part of the capo chart, okay? So the chords are A, E, F sharp minor, and D. And you're like, how do you play an E? We don't know how to play an E in the videos that I just taught you. Well, this is where we use our capo, okay? So the new chords, if you see an A, somebody gives you a sheet of music and the chord is A, E, F sharp minor, D, I did a shortcut for you. You capo, your new chords are, you capo the 2nd fret. So this is original, open, dadgad tuning. Okay, and then you capo the 2nd fret. You just got higher 2 frets. And now you play your chord shapes that you're familiar with. You will play G instead of playing, whenever you see A, okay, you play your G shape. Okay, so you capo the 2nd fret, and it's 5 frets up. 1, 2, okay, this is capo, 2nd fret, your lowest string. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is my G shape, capoed on the 2nd fret. And this is how you would play an A. Okay, so if the 2nd chord, you look at your original chords, the sheet of music that's in front of you, you have the chord of A, E, F sharp minor, D. When you go to an E, you're like, I never learned the E. Well, this is how you play an E. So at this point, because we already know where our capo is, you don't have to worry about the capo fret column. Okay, so now the second chord we're trying to figure out is the key of E. Okay, so you find the key of E. Okay, you got it? It's if you look at the top, we're looking at the G shape family. We're only looking at the left column, okay, the original keys, okay, the original chords, okay. So the E is right below that horizontal line, okay. So because we remember that we went up 2 frets, okay. Did I even explain the first one? I'm sorry, guys. Let's make sure that I'm explaining this, okay. So we capoed the second fret. Why? Because the first chord is an A, okay? So what I want you to do is look for the A. Okay, let's start all over. I'm sorry. Let's start all over. Look for the A, original key. Under the original key, you see a G. That's the chord. Then you see a G sharp, and then you see an A. Okay, you look, there's the A that you're looking for. Go across. You see what capo, what fret are you going to capo? That's the second fret. Okay, so that is why we capo the second fret here, where everything is higher by 2 frets. Okay, now that we got that, just don't worry at all about the capo fret column, because we already have our answer. Okay, so now that we have where to put our capo, what we got to do is we got to just remember the number is 2. We capoed on the second fret. All you got to do is look at your guitar neck. Where did you capo? What number are we going by? It's 2. So you went 2 frets higher. Okay, so start from the A. You got to go 2 notes lower. So 1 note lower from the A is your G sharp. 2 notes lower from your A is your G. So what that means is whenever you see an A, you're going to play your G shape. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now the second chord that you're trying to figure out is an E. So look for the E. Okay, where's the E? The E is right below that black horizontal line. Okay, and again, you're not worrying about the capo frets anymore. You already figured that out. We're not looking at that. We're looking at now just the notes. Okay, so E is right there, is right below the horizontal line. Okay, so again, the number that we always got to keep in mind is we got to go lower by 2 because we capoed 2 frets higher. Okay, so you look at your E, you go down 2 frets. Let's go down 1 fret first. That is a D sharp. We go down another fret. That will be 2 frets lower. Okay, and now we're back at our D. So whenever you see the chord E, you play D. Or D shape. So what we got so far is whenever we see the chord A, we play a G. G shape. Okay, capoed on the second fret. Whenever we see the chord E, we play our D. So what we're doing is we're now playing the chord of A and E, but we are playing in a way that's familiar to us. Okay, so now the third chord that we're trying to figure out is F sharp minor. Okay, so all you gotta do is just look for the F sharp. So look for the F sharp, and that's the last note that you see on the top section. Okay, so F sharp there. So again, we go down 2 notes lower. So we go down, we're at F sharp, go down 1 note lower, it's an F, but we need to go down 2 notes lower, and that takes us to a E. So because it's an F sharp minor, we keep the minor, okay? So it's now an E minor shape, and we know how to play that. Mute, arc technique, mute, play, 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 play. Okay, now we look at the next chord we need to figure out is our D chord. Okay, so we know how to play a D chord shape, but because we capoed, we can no longer play that D. We need to remember whatever fret we capo, however many frets we capo up, what's the rule? We have to now lower that down by 2 frets. Okay, so we look at our D chord. Find the D chord on your chart. Okay, the D chord is almost slightly below the middle. Okay, so there's your D. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to lower by 2. We're going to go down 2. So going down from your D, going down 1 is your C sharp, going by 2 is your C. So you're going to play your C right there, your C shape. Okay, so if we look at the text on top of the example here, it says original chords A, E, F sharp minor, D. Your new Capo 2 chords will be G, D, E minor, C, which we all know how to play. Why? Why is that? Because the key of the song is in A. That's correct, right? The worship leader or the song that you find on the internet is in the key of A. Now the G chart tells us to capo the 2nd fret is what we talked about, or we could choose to use the D chart and capo the 5th fret. Okay, we could use the bottom, but we're just going to stick to the top for now. Okay, let's use the G chart capo 2 for this example. You can use any chart that you want. It's up to you as long as they're in black, remember. But let's just, these two first examples, we're going to use the top chart. So A on your paper would equal you capoing the 2nd fret and playing a G. Why? G shape, because the capo is on the 2nd fret, so you went up 2 frets, you go down 2 notes lower than the A, which makes a G. Does that make sense? Okay, now you look at your second note. It is on the paper that's in front of you, it's an E chord. That equals your D shape. Why? Because the capo is on the 2nd fret. Okay, you went up 2, then you go down 2 notes lower than an E, which is your D. Okay, so your third chord, F sharp minor, would equal an E minor. Why? Because the capo is on the 2nd fret. You go down 2 notes lower than an F sharp, which is an E. But you got to keep your minor chord because it's not just an F sharp, it's an F sharp minor. You play an E minor shape. And last of all, the last chord you're trying to figure out is a D. D would equal your capo 2 C shape. Why? Because the capo is on the 2nd fret. You go down 2 notes lower than a D, which is a C. And now you can play these chord progressions in A, E, F sharp minor, D. It's your G shape, D shape, E minor shape, and C shape, all on Capo 2. This is Capo 2. Okay, now we are going to, and if you need to review, that's why the beauty of video is you just can go ahead and go back to the point where you need to hear it again. So we're going to move on. And again, any questions, all you have to do is contact me through the website or contact me through the Facebook group. It's that simple. So any questions, don't get lost. Just contact me. That's what I'm here for. This is new, so it's going to be confusing. And because it's just paper, when you start playing, it'll make a lot more sense when you combine everything together. But right now, it's just it's like math. You're looking at a chart. If you don't like math, this is going to be awfully boring. But learn when you really get to understand this, and it'll go a lot faster. Okay, let's look at our second example. Okay, the original chords are C, A minor, F, G. Okay, so we're going to look at our C. If you look at the G on the left side, the top chart, that's the G family, the key of G shapes. C is still within the black region, right? If you look at the fret numbers on the right side. So we're going to use that. Okay, so C, somebody gives you a bunch of songs in the key of C. You look at your chart. C is in black. Oh, let's use that. So capo, look across from the C. The original key is C. To the right of C is fret 5. Okay, now so go ahead and capo that 5th fret. So this is open. If you capo the 5th fret, this is what it sounds like. You got a lot higher. Okay, so now you don't need to worry about the right column. It's because you already have your capo on. You're not going to move your capo. Okay, so now all you're doing is translating these chords that you may or may not know. So if you look at it and you see, you already know how to play your C, your A minor, your F, and your G. You don't even have to capo on the 5th fret. You could play these, but as an example, so you get to practice using your capo chart. This is what it would look like. Your new chords would be G, E minor, C, and D. Now, why is that? So let's take one chord at a time. Okay, so we are here, capoed on the 5th fret. You look at your C chord, okay? Look at your C on your chart, okay? Again, we're not worried about the right side anymore. We already got it. The number that we have to keep in mind is the number 5. Why? Because we've capoed on the 5th fret. So 5, 5, 5. Put that in your mind. So everything we're gonna do, we're gonna take the original chord and go 5 notes lower. Okay. So C, you look at your C. Okay. Now we're gonna go 5 frets lower than that. Okay. So if we go 1 fret lower, it's a B. 2 frets lower, it's a B flat. 3 frets lower, it's an A. 4 frets lower, it's a G sharp. 5 frets lower, it's a G. So if you capo your 5th fret, whenever you see the chord of C, you can write in the key of G. Okay, and you play your G shape. Capo on the 5th fret, play your G. Okay, so now when you see an A minor, okay, on your paper, what do you do if you're capoed on the 5th fret? So remember, the number is 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay, its number is 5. You find your A. Okay, it doesn't have to be an A. It's just the note A. A minor, remember, is the chord when you put all these notes together. So A minor. So you just look for A. Okay, so there's your A. Okay, you can either. So just know that when you keep going lower, you just start all over. Okay, so what I mean by that is if you look on, you were using the top part of the chart, A. Okay, A is kind of close to the top. If we go lower by 5, let's do it one step at a time so nobody gets lost. Let's see where we go. Okay, so we start at A, we go down 1, that's a G sharp. We go down 2, that's a G, and we ran out of space. So all we got to do is start all over. It's a loop. So you go back to if you go down 3, you look at the bottom of the chart, it's an F sharp minor, okay? Otherwise, this chart would be endlessly long. So all you do is loop it around. Okay, we go down 4, we're at an F, and we go down 5, we're at the E. Okay, so you see what I did? When you go and you run out of space, you start the chart all over, okay? So again, we're at A, go down 1 note, G sharp. 2 notes, G. 3 notes, we started the chart all over, we're at F sharp. 4 notes, we're at an F. 5 notes, we're at an E. Because it's an A minor, you would play an E minor. And your E minor is right here. Okay, so now if you see an F chord, what do you do? So find your F on the chart. It's towards the bottom. We go down 5 frets. Why? Because we capoed on the 5th fret. So F, okay, E is 1, 2 is D sharp, 3 is D, 4 is C sharp, 5 is C. Okay, so we are going to play our C shape. That's how we play our F. We play capo 5, C shape. And when you see a G, if you're capoed on the 5th fret, you look at your G, find your G. Okay, your G is all the way at the top. Okay, so again, what do? We loop the chart. Okay, so we're going to go down 5 frets. So we start at a G. It's the end of the chart. So we go back and we loop it. We go down 1 note, That's an F sharp. Okay, we're starting at the bottom of the chart. 2 notes, F, 3, E, 4, D sharp, 5 is a D. So we're playing a D shape, Capo 5, D shape. There we are. And that is how we play a G with the OFWC. Okay, so C is when you play it, when you see a C, you play a G shape. Well, on your paper, you see an A minor, you play an E minor shape. You see an F on your paper, Capo 5th fret, you play a C shape. And when you see a G, you play a D shape. Okay, now we're going to go to our third example, and now we're going to use the bottom chart, okay, in the key of D, the D family, okay? Because it's going to be, and the reason we use both of them is because, again, we want to stay within as much as possible in the black, capoing on the black frets. Because if we only use the top fret, we're going to be capoing really high. And so we want to be able to use either or, whatever suits the song best and suits your hand the best, suits your guitar the best, okay? So in our third example, the original keys are the key of E, chord E, the key of E, okay? So it's the E chord, the B chord, the C sharp minor chord, and the A. Now, I definitely have not taught us the C sharp minor chord, and it's going to be a little more tricky. It's no longer going to be one finger worship chords if we go and do that. So how do we keep our easy style, our simplified style? Is we use the chart on the bottom in the D key, the key of D family, and we're just going to find where we are. So on the bottom chart, look for your E chord, okay? So it's right there. It's the third from the bottom, because the first is a D, the second is a D sharp, and the third is an E, okay? So what do? You slide over to figure out what capo you're going to capo, and that's the number 2. So you're going to capo, a key of E, you're going to capo fret number 2. So again, this is open, dad-gad. Now if you capo 2, it's going to sound like this. Everything got higher by 2 frets, and that's how come you got to lower everything by 2 frets. So now we have to remember that the number that we have to keep in mind is 2. We capoed 2, we go down 2. So let's translate all these chords that we see on our paper. They give us a paper. The chords are E, B, C sharp minor, and A. Again, we don't just give up and say, I don't know how to play these chords. Yes, you do. Capo the 2nd fret because of the chart just told you. And now you lower each of these chords by 2. Okay, because you went up 2 on your fretboard, you capoed 2, you lower everything. So look at your E. So again, this time we are concentrating on the bottom chart, okay, the key of D. Okay, so again, the number is 2. So you look at your E on the left side. Don't even worry about the right side, the numbers anymore. We already got our capo on our guitar. So we're finding our E on our chart, which is the 3rd down. Okay, so we're going to remember 2. We're going to go 2 down because our capo is on the 2nd fret. So if we go 1 down, it's a D sharp. We go 2 down, it's a D. So whenever you see the chord E written on your paper, you play your D shape. And of course, we're capoed on the 2nd fret. So whenever you see an E, you can write in on your paper, on your own paper, kind of like scratch out that E, or write it next to it in a different color or something. You write a D. Okay, now the next chord we're trying to figure out is a B. Okay, so find your B on the left side. Okay, your B should be, if you're looking at the bottom chart, which is where we're at, the B should be right under that horizontal line, that black horizontal line, okay, where the numbers start to turn gray. Okay, so you go down 2. If you go down 1, it's a B flat. You lower it another 1, you lowered it by 2, you're at an A. Okay, so you would play your A shape. So that would be your 7th fret, your target note from your capo. This is your capo, open, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you do your reverse arc technique. That's your A shape, and you play your A shape in place of a B chord that you see. Now, C sharp minor, how do you play that? So locate your C sharp notes, okay? Your C sharp is all the way on the bottom. We're gonna go down 2 because we capoed the 2nd fret. So go down 1, it's a C. Go down 2, it's a B, okay? So you would play your B minor, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is where we were on playing our A. Reverse arc technique to play our B minor. We slide that same shape up 2 frets. That's your B minor. Okay? And how do we play our A with our capo on the 2nd fret? Let's look for our A. It's kind of a little bit lower than the middle there. So let's go lower the A by 2 frets or 2 notes. Okay, the A lowered by 1 is a G sharp. Lowered by another one by 2 is a G. So you would play your G shape. So E, an E chord is your D shape. Your B chord would be your A shape, your reverse arc technique. Your C sharp minor on your paper would be your B minor shape. And your A on your paper would be your G shape. So just as an example, so it's if the chords are E, B, C sharp minor, A, okay, and this is what it sounds like if you capo the 2nd fret. D, A, B sharp, B minor, G, all chords that we're familiar with. Okay, so the last example, I put a little bit more chords in there. The key is the chords in the original chords. The key of F, it's F. Okay, this is what's on your paper that somebody gives to you or you print out from the internet. F, B flat, C, D minor, C, and B flat. Okay, so it's just like, as you can see, there's chords repeating. So it's like a progression, and you're trying to figure out how do I play that. Okay, so what you're going to do, again, this example is we're looking at the bottom chart, the key of D. Why? Because we want to try and capo and play in the black section. Okay, so this is an example of the key of D. So what we're going to do is we're going to, okay, so the key is F. See, this is the F family, the original chords. So we find our F, okay, on the chart. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 down. We look at the F, we look across, it's the number 3. So that's the capo fret. Okay, so this is open, dad-gad. Okay, so we're gonna capo, 3rd fret. Everything got higher by 3 notes because we're capoing the 3rd fret. Okay, so now we're gonna play all the chord shapes that we already know, our OFWC chord shapes, and we're going to translate F, B flat, C, D minor, C, B flat into chords that we already know. Okay, so let's look at the F. Find the F. Okay, now we don't have to look at the right column anymore. Why? Because our capo is already on. Now all we're doing is using the chart to find out what our new chord is, because we went 3 notes higher, we have to go 3 notes lower. and use the shapes that we know. So F, we already found the F, capo 3. Okay, so don't worry about the right column anymore. So the number that we have to remember is 3. 3, 3, 3, 3. Let's put that in our minds, 3. So we go down 3. Okay, so we go down 1, it's a E. Lower it another, lower it 2, it's a D sharp. You lower it 3 notes, we're at a D. So whenever you see the chord F, what would you play? What shape? You play your D. That's what we just went over, easy, right? Okay, so again, the number that we're keeping in our mind is 3. So let's look for a B flat on our chart. Okay, so the B flat is right above that black horizontal line that you see. Okay, so B flat, and again, we're going to lower 3. We're going to go a little bit faster this time. Okay, so we already know it's 3. So we'll go down 1 note is A, 2 is G sharp, 3 is G. Okay, so you play your G shape. Whenever you see your B flat, you play your G shape. So far, we got, on our paper, we got an F and a B flat. Okay, so what we're doing, capoing the 3rd fret. Now we're playing a D shape and a G shape. Real easy. D, G, which would equal F and B flat. Okay, now the 3rd chord we're trying to figure out is the C. So look at your chart. Remember, we're thinking about the number 3. 3. We went 3 higher on our fretboard, capoed it. We got to go 3 lower. So look at your C and go 3 lower. Going 1 lower is a B. Going 2 lower is a B flat. 3 lower is an A. Okay, so you would play your A. That's your reverse arc technique. Play your A shape. So we got D so far, D shape, G shape, your A shape. Okay, now the 4th chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, is a D minor. So on your chart, you don't need to find a minor, you just need to find a D. Okay, so now, here we go again. We are going to run out of space because D is at the top of the chart. So what do? We loop it all around. Okay, so we loop it from the bottom. So remember, our number is 3. So we go down 1 note, we loop the chart. We start at the bottom, it's a C sharp. Go down 2 notes, it's a C. Go down 3 notes, it's a B. Okay, so because the chord is a D minor, we play a B minor. Okay, so that would be right here. B minor shape. Arc technique. Play, 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 mute, and ring the 2 high strings out. Okay, so, and the next chord is a C. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th and 6th chord are chords that we already know. It's a C and a B flat. We already figured it out. We already figured out that the C equals an A. Just look earlier. And a B flat equals a G. So even though there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chords in front of us in this chord progression, or in these songs, we really only needed to figure out 4 chords because the C is repeated and the B flat is repeated, and you're going to find that happening a lot. So I'm just going to give you a hypothetical chord progression and what it sounds like. So our chords F, B flat, C, D minor, C, B flat. So F is a D shape, B flat is a G shape, C is an A shape, D minor is a B minor shape, and then we go back down. C, we already figured that out, that's your A shape, and your B flat goes back to your G shape. Okay, so hypothetical progression. So it's D, G, A, B minor, A, G, D, G, A, B minor, A, G, back to the D shape. And that is how you would play something that is an F, B flat, C, D minor, C, and B flat. Okay, guys, so please don't get discouraged. Just know that with any new skill, there's going to be a learning curve. And especially if you're watching this for the first time and you're going, wow, this is a lot of information. I'm going up, I'm going down, I have to translate all these things. Again, what the alternative is, you got to learn all these chords. And don't use a capo, don't use one finger worship chord shapes, and go ahead and learn every chord that there is on top of the fretboard. And that's actually a lot harder. So please, don't get discouraged, don't give up, just keep going. And again, you have any questions, you just keep this information in front of you. This chart is going to save you as you get faster and better, just like your multiplication table. When you do flashcards, when you're learning math, it's hard in the beginning because you got to manually count with your fingers. You got to, whether you're doing addition, subtraction, or whether you're doing multiplication and those 6, 7, and 8 times tables, they get kind of difficult. And sometimes you got to revert back to counting with your fingers again. That's what this is like. It's like you're learning the skill. You got to go manually. It's going to take a long time. You got to count things one step at a time. But as you get better at, say, for example, math and flashcards, addition, subtraction, multiplication, it starts to come a lot faster. And it's going to be the same with this. As you keep using this and practicing this, you'll be able to get faster and you'll get better. And in no time, you'll be able to play over 90% of worship songs that there are out there, especially in contemporary worship music. So I don't want to say good luck. I want to say, hey, study hard and don't give up, and ask questions to me and the other people on the group, on the Facebook group. Thank you and have a great day.